Have you ever felt like your legs just aren't what they used to be? Maybe it's subtle at first. You notice a slight heaviness while climbing the stairs, or it takes just a little longer to get up from the couch. You might catch yourself holding onto the handrail tighter, walking slower, or avoiding long outings altogether. One of my patients, Clara, 71, once told me, "It's not that I'm in pain. I just don't trust my legs anymore." And sadly, that's not unusual. In my 10-plus years working with older adults, I've heard that same fear over and over. But here's what most people don't realize. Your legs are often the very first part of your body to decline as you age, not because you're doing something wrong, but because of a silent process known as sarcopenia. This gradual loss of muscle mass starts in your 40s, speeds up in your 60s, and if left unchecked, it quietly steals your strength, balance, and independence. But the good news is, this process can be slowed, or even reversed, through the most overlooked solution, your diet. That's right. After working with hundreds of patients, reviewing research, and witnessing life-changing turnarounds, I discovered that certain foods have the power to wake up your legs again, to restore strength, increase mobility, and reduce pain and fatigue. Today, I'm going to reveal 6 of the most powerful foods I've found to protect and rebuild leg strength. And no, they're not magic pills or fancy supplements. They're real, everyday ingredients you can find in your kitchen or local grocery store. These foods act like natural medicine for your legs. They nourish muscle tissue, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and even help rebuild balance. In fact, all of them is so effective that even during pain, researchers have compared it to taking ibuprofen, but without the side effects. Another is packed with a mineral that helps prevent nighttime leg cramps, supports healthy nerves, and keeps your movement smooth and controlled. I remember one client, Robert, 68, who was on the verge of giving up his weekly walks. "I'm just getting old," he said. But after making a few small tweaks to his meals, nothing drastic, just intentional, he was back to walking 2 miles a day within 6 weeks. That's the power of eating smart for your age. In this video, you'll discover exactly which 6 foods make the biggest difference, how to eat them for maximum benefit, and the small daily habits that transform weakness into strength. I'll also share a few simple prep tips to make these foods easy to incorporate. Because let's face it, health advice only works if it fits into real life. And here's a little challenge. By the time you hear about food number 4, if you find yourself thinking, "Why didn't I know this before?" Drop a comment below with just one word. Wow. I want to know if you've had that moment of realization, because that's where the transformation truly begins. And if you haven't already, take a second to like this video. It helps more people like you find content that empowers them to take control of their health. Make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss a tip that could literally keep you on your feet longer. Every like, every comment, every subscriber helps us grow this community of strong, vibrant, and independent adults. I don't just want you to watch. I want you to take action, feel inspired, and reclaim the strength you deserve. You see, I believe that aging doesn't mean giving up your freedom. I've seen 80-year-olds hike trails, 75-year-olds dance at weddings, and 90-year-olds keep up with their great-grandkids. What they all had in common wasn't luck or perfect genes, it was daily intention. They chose to nourish their bodies instead of letting time chip away at them. And now, so can you. So stay with me. We're about to explore 6 foods that can turn your legs from shaky and tired into strong, stable, and dependable again. These are the foods I recommend to every patient who walks into my clinic and says, "Doctor, I just want to feel steady again." And if that's you, if you want to walk taller, move with ease, and stop worrying about falling, then this might be the most important video you watch this year. All right, let's begin. The first food on our list is often overlooked, yet it's the foundation of everything from mobility to posture. It's a quiet powerhouse you probably already have in your fridge, but what it does inside your body is nothing short of extraordinary. Let's take a closer look at food number 1, and why it could be the key to keeping your legs strong, steady, and pain-free, even as you age. Food 1. Lean protein, the muscle rebuilder. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sat down, tried to stand up, and felt like your legs just didn't respond the way they used to? Maybe you didn't stumble, but there was that moment, that small tremble or unexpected delay, when you realized something's changed. That moment is more than just aging. It's your body quietly signaling that your muscles are losing power, not because of time alone, but because they're no longer getting the support they need. In my 10-plus years working with seniors, I've seen this again and again. And that's why I always begin with one foundational truth. muscles don't vanish simply because we get older. They weaken when we stop feeding them what they require to stay alive. The very first food that can rebuild that strength from within and turn your legs into something close to steel again is lean protein. After age 50, our body's ability to synthesize protein and build muscle decreases significantly. This condition is called sarcopenia, a silent thief of mobility that begins in midlife and accelerates with every passing decade. Without adequate protein, your body doesn't just pause growth, it starts breaking down existing muscle to compensate. And where does that show up first? Your legs. Because they do the heaviest lifting every day, they're the first to reveal when your diet is missing what matters most. I'll never forget my patient, Henry. At 67, he was mentally sharp but told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm walking through mud." He wasn't sick, he wasn't overweight, he just couldn't get through the day without feeling drained. When we analyzed his diet, the issue was clear. He was eating less than 40 grams of protein a day, less than what a growing child needs. We made small but powerful changes. He started his mornings with Greek yogurt and chia seeds, added grilled chicken to lunch, and included salmon or eggs with dinner. Within 5 weeks, he was moving with ease again, walking farther, standing taller, and no longer dreading the stairs. Protein had quietly rebuilt what he thought was lost forever. And that's the lesson. Lean protein isn't a luxury, it's the raw material your muscles depend on to regenerate and stay strong. But not all protein is equal. What seniors need are high-quality, low-fat sources that deliver the building blocks without the inflammation that comes from heavily processed or fatty meats. Some of the best options include chicken breast, turkey, eggs, salmon, cod, and mackerel, all rich in complete proteins. If you prefer plant-based options, lentils, beans, tofu, and tempeh are excellent choices, offering not just protein but fiber and essential minerals. Greek yogurt is another favorite of mine. 1 cup can deliver up to 20 grams of protein and is often better tolerated than milk in older adults. So how much should you aim for? Here's where most people get it wrong. They eat all their protein at dinner, too late for the body to fully utilize. Research shows older adults need more protein, spread consistently throughout the day, to maintain and build muscle. The recommended amount is about 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight daily. For a 60 kilograms, 132 pounds, adult, that's 72 to 96 grams per day, ideally divided across 3 meals. This even distribution supports ongoing muscle protein synthesis, which becomes less efficient as we age. That means starting your day with eggs or cottage cheese, adding lean meat or legumes to your lunch, and finishing with a protein-rich dinner. One simple tip I always give my patients: pair your protein with vitamin C. A squeeze of lemon on your grilled fish or orange slices with your chicken salad can enhance amino acid absorption and digestion. These subtle tweaks, when done consistently, can change the way your muscles perform and recover. And let's not forget hydration. Protein metabolism requires water. So drink regularly throughout the day to support your body's ability to use the nutrients you give it. Now, I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, how much intentional protein are you getting each day? If what I've shared here has opened your eyes, drop a comment below and simply say "starting today." It's your quiet promise to take action, not just think about it. Because the truth is, regaining leg strength doesn't require a gym membership or lifting heavy weights. It often begins with small choices in your kitchen. One meal at a time, one habit at a time, you can rebuild what time tried to take away. And the journey doesn't stop here. While protein is essential for muscle repair and growth, your body also needs the right nutrients to protect and support your bones, the very structure that holds you upright. That's why in the next section, we'll explore one of the most powerful groups of foods for your skeletal strength and stability. They're green, vibrant, and surprisingly potent when it comes to aging well. Let's take a look at food number 2. Leafy greens, your body's natural scaffolding. Food 2. Leafy greens, bone and muscle protectors. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at a handful of spinach or kale and thought, "This could be protecting my legs from breaking one day"? It may sound dramatic, but for seniors over 60, it's not far from the truth. What most people don't realize is that your bones are silently weakening, year after year. And unless you give them the right tools to stay strong, a single misstep could lead to a life-altering injury. But here's the good news. Nature gave us a secret weapon, and it's hiding right there in your produce drawer. Leafy greens aren't just salad fillers. They are the structural defenders of your mobility. In my 10-plus years working with older adults, I've seen how something as simple as including more greens consistently can mean the difference between struggling to get up and walking with confidence. These vibrant greens may look delicate, but they're packed with the raw power your body needs to hold itself upright. Strong bones, supple muscles, balanced movement. It's all connected, and leafy greens help hold the system together. So what makes leafy greens such powerful allies in aging well? Let's start with vitamin K, one of the most critical yet underappreciated nutrients for bone health. This fat-soluble vitamin acts like a traffic controller. It helps direct calcium to where it belongs, your bones and teeth. Without enough vitamin K, calcium can go rogue, depositing in your arteries or joints instead of strengthening your skeleton. Just 1 cup of chopped kale provides more than 600% of your daily vitamin K needs. That's not a typo, 600%. Imagine the cumulative impact if you ate just a serving or two every single day. And that's not all. Leafy greens like spinach, chard, and collards are also rich in magnesium, a mineral most seniors are chronically low in. Why does that matter? Because magnesium helps your muscles contract and relax efficiently. It's like the fluid in your body's movement system. Ever felt a cramp in your calf at night? A deep aching fatigue in your thighs after a short walk? Magnesium deficiency could be the hidden cause. And leafy greens are one of the most natural ways to fix it, without pills or supplements. I remember a patient of mine, Ruth, who came in complaining of frequent leg cramps and general fatigue. She was 74, active, loved gardening, but often had to stop mid-task to rub out a spasm in her leg. After looking at her diet, I realized she was hardly eating any foods with magnesium. We didn't overhaul her meals. We just added 1 green smoothie in the morning with spinach, banana, and almond milk. In 2 weeks, the cramps disappeared. It's like someone oiled the hinges on my legs, she joked. It was a small change with big results, and it started with leafy greens. But we're not done yet. These greens are also a great source of folate, vitamin B9, which supports red blood cell production and helps your body repair itself at the cellular level. As we age, our body's ability to regenerate slows down. Folate steps in like a silent repairman, working behind the scenes to keep your muscles and bones functioning well. Without it, recovery takes longer, fatigue sets in faster, and physical stress leaves deeper marks. And here's a practical tip from my own kitchen. How you prepare leafy greens makes a huge difference. Many of the nutrients in greens, especially vitamin K, are fat-soluble, meaning they need healthy fats to be properly absorbed. That's why I always tell patients to pair their greens with a little olive oil, avocado, or a handful of nuts. A simple kale salad with olive oil and lemon doesn't just taste better, it unlocks the nutrition hidden inside. Cooking method matters too. Steaming or lightly sautéing spinach or chard helps reduce oxalates, compounds that can block calcium absorption if eaten in large amounts. But don't stress about it, just vary your intake. Mix raw with cooked. Rotate kale, arugula, romaine, and collards. Your body will thank you for the variety. Another surprising benefit? Greens support circulation. Improved blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your leg muscles, keeping them strong and energized throughout the day. And that, right there, can help reduce that heavy leg feeling so many older adults experience by mid-afternoon. Now, I want you to take a moment and think, how often do you really eat leafy greens? Once a week? Twice? If you're like most people, it's not enough. But that can change starting today. I challenge you, yes, you to make greens a daily habit for just 7 days. Blend them, steam them, toss them in soup. However you like them, just eat them. And if you're accepting that challenge, write in the comments, going green for 7 days. Let's inspire others to join you. Because the truth is, the path to strong legs doesn't start with a treadmill or a gym. It starts with what's on your plate. Leafy greens are the scaffolding. They hold you up from the inside out. And the impact is so profound that I've had patients tell me they feel younger after just a month of consistent intake. That's not a miracle. That's nutrition doing what it was meant to do. And now that we've built a strong frame with greens and supported it with lean protein, we're ready to talk about energy. Because strength means nothing if your legs give out before the day is done. So in the next section, we're turning to a food that fuels your body with steady power, fights fatigue, and even soothes tired muscles from the inside out. Let's dive into Food 3, Sweet Potatoes, Nature's Energy Booster. Food 3, Sweet Potatoes, Long-Lasting Energy Source. Let me ask you something that might hit home. Have you ever started the day feeling fine, only to find your legs dragging like anchors by the afternoon? You didn't do anything unusual. You didn't walk miles or climb hills. Yet somehow, your legs feel like they've run a marathon by 3 p.m. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not imagining things. What many older adults don't realize is that the legs don't just need strength, they need fuel. And not just any fuel, but the kind that lasts. This brings us to one of the most underestimated superfoods for aging well, sweet potatoes. Soft, sweet, comforting, and surprisingly powerful. They're not just good, they're exactly what your muscles are crying out for if you feel drained, crampy, or sluggish. And the science behind it is absolutely fascinating. You see, sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates, the kind that burn slow and steady. Unlike sugary snacks or white bread that give you a quick spike of energy and then leave you crashing, the carbs in sweet potatoes provide a sustained release of glucose, giving your muscles and brain the fuel they need over time. Think of it as charging your phone with a fast charger versus a long-lasting power bank. Sweet potatoes are the power bank, reliable, steady, and built for endurance. But it doesn't stop there. Sweet potatoes are packed with potassium, one of the most essential minerals for proper muscle function. If you've ever had a leg cramp wake you in the middle of the night or that annoying Charlie horse, while stretching, low potassium may be to blame. Your body uses potassium to regulate fluid balance, nerve signals, and muscle contractions. And when you don't get enough, your muscles can revolt. One medium sweet potato contains nearly 450 milligrams of potassium, making it one of the best natural remedies for muscle tightness and fatigue. I once worked with a man named Alan, 72, retired firefighter, proud grandfather, but struggling with daily exhaustion. He told me, I sit down for lunch and by 2 o'clock, I'm done. It's like my legs give up before the rest of me. He wasn't diabetic, his heart was healthy, but his diet was heavy on toast, crackers, and coffee. We made one simple change. We swapped his midday sandwich for a bowl of roasted sweet potatoes, quinoa, and sautéed greens. Within 10 days, he noticed something incredible. I feel like I have a second wind, he said. And his walks with his grandkids stopped feeling like chores and started feeling like memories in the making. But the benefits of sweet potatoes don't stop at potassium and energy. They also contain magnesium, a mineral that promotes muscle relaxation and helps reduce cramps. Most adults don't realize how much they need magnesium until they're missing it. It plays a key role in muscle recovery, which is especially important if you've been sitting or lying down for long periods. Add to that the fiber in the skin of the potato, which supports digestion and blood sugar balance, and you've got a food that's not just energizing, but stabilizing. And here's one more thing I love about sweet potatoes. They're deeply comforting. There's something about the warm, slightly sweet, melt-in-your-mouth flavor that just makes people feel good. And when food can nourish both your body and your spirit, that's a gift. Especially as we age, food isn't just about nutrition. It's about emotional connection, joy, tradition. And sweet potatoes deliver all of that in one simple, affordable package. Now let's talk prep, because how you cook your sweet potatoes matters. First, keep the skin on. Most of the fiber and antioxidants are concentrated right under the surface. Just give them a good scrub before cooking. Roast them with olive oil and a dash of cinnamon for a nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory meal. Or mash them with a bit of Greek yogurt and turmeric for an extra muscle-supporting boost. Feeling adventurous? Try slicing them into wedges and baking them as fries. They're delicious, satisfying, and far better for you than store-bought alternatives. And here's a pro tip. Sweet potatoes pair beautifully with lean proteins like grilled salmon or chicken, and leafy greens like spinach or kale. Together, this trio delivers protein for muscle building, greens for bone support, and sweet potatoes for energy and recovery. It's what I call the leg strength plate, and I've recommended it to countless patients with incredible results. So here's my challenge to you. Add sweet potatoes to at least one meal per day for the next 5 days. You'll be amazed at the difference you feel, not just in your legs, but in your focus, your mood, and your stamina. And when you do, drop a comment below and type, "Powered by Sweet Potatoes." I want to hear your story. Because every small win matters, and your story might just inspire someone else to take that first step. As we move forward, it's important to understand that energy and strength are only part of the equation. The third element, the one most people forget, is protection. Protection from inflammation. Protection from silent internal stress that builds over time and quietly undermines your mobility. And that protection comes in the form of some of the smallest, but mightiest foods in nature. In our next section, we'll uncover a group of fruits so rich in antioxidants and circulation-boosting compounds. They've been shown to help reduce pain, fight inflammation, and keep your legs feeling light and responsive. Let's turn the page to Food 4. Berries, nature's cellular bodyguards. Food 4. Berries, the antioxidant shield. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age so gracefully, staying light on their feet, clear in the mind, and full of life, while others slow down dramatically, their bodies feeling stiff, heavy, and inflamed? It's not just genetics. It's not just luck. In fact, some of the best protection from premature aging comes from something small, colorful, and surprisingly powerful: berries. Yes, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. These aren't just pretty toppings for your yogurt. They're cellular bodyguards, working behind the scenes to fight the slow, invisible processes that chip away at your mobility, clarity, and overall vitality. And when it comes to your legs, these tiny fruits pack a mighty punch. As we age, one of the biggest threats to our muscles, joints, and circulation isn't wear and tear, it's something called oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as tiny sparks of damage that happen inside your body every day, sparks caused by poor diet, pollution, stress, medications, and yes, even normal aging. These sparks lead to inflammation, and inflammation leads to stiffness, pain, and slower recovery. Berries are nature's built-in fire extinguisher. They're packed with antioxidants, compounds that actively fight those damaging sparks at the cellular level. This means they can slow the breakdown of muscle fibers, reduce inflammation in joints, and improve blood flow to the legs, keeping them stronger and more responsive. Let me share a quick story. One of my longtime patients, Linda, a 69-year-old former ballet teacher, used to suffer from early morning stiffness and chronic leg soreness after even short walks. She was active, ate fairly well, but something was missing. I suggested she start adding a cup of mixed berries to her breakfast every day. Just that. Nothing drastic. After 3 weeks, she came back smiling. "I didn't change my workouts, but I feel like I got my grace back," she told me. Her steps felt lighter, her swelling reduced, and that morning stiffness? Nearly gone. So what makes berries so effective? Let's talk specifics. Berries contain powerful antioxidants like anthocyanins, ellagic acid, and vitamin C. These help reduce muscle breakdown and support collagen production, which is essential for healthy joints and tendons. They also improve endothelial function, a fancy term for how well your blood vessels expand and contract. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your leg muscles, helping them stay energized and recover faster. Another amazing benefit? Berries help regulate blood sugar, especially important for older adults trying to avoid energy crashes or complications related to diabetes. Unlike refined carbs, the natural sugars in berries are paired with fiber, which slows absorption, providing gentle, steady fuel to keep your legs moving and your mind sharp. And the best part? Berries are incredibly easy to add to your routine. Toss them into oatmeal. Blend them into a smoothie. Eat them fresh by the handful. Or top your Greek yogurt with a mix of frozen berries and a sprinkle of chia seeds for a perfect anti-inflammatory breakfast. Here's a little-known expert tip I often share. Pair your berries with a healthy fat. When you eat antioxidants with sources of good fat, like almonds, flax seeds, or a spoonful of nut butter, your body absorbs more of the fat-soluble nutrients inside those berries. It's a small change that makes a big impact. Now, let's talk about consistency. You don't need to eat a pint of berries a day to see results. Research shows that as little as 1 cup of mixed berries daily can have measurable effects on inflammation markers, blood flow, and muscle recovery. In fact, a 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed more antioxidant-rich foods like berries experienced better muscle function and improved gait speed, compared to those who didn't. That's powerful. That's real. And that's something you can start today. So here's my challenge to you. Add 1 cup of berries to your diet every day for the next 10 days. And pay attention to how your body responds. Do your legs feel less stiff? Do you recover from walks more quickly? Does your energy hold steady longer? If you feel the difference, let me know in the comments below by typing "Very strong." Your story might just motivate someone else to finally take action, and that's how we grow stronger together. You see, aging doesn't have to mean breaking down. It can mean building better habits, learning what truly nourishes you, and choosing foods that protect your mobility, not threaten it. Berries aren't a magic bullet, but they are a consistent, reliable ally in your journey towards stronger, more resilient legs. And while berries help calm inflammation and restore balance from the inside, there's another food that builds that balance from the bones up. It's something ancient, revered for centuries, and still one of the most powerful health foods today. It supports your joints. It strengthens your bones. And when paired with the right nutrients, it can actually ease pain naturally. Coming up next, we're diving into Food 5, olive oil, the liquid gold that keeps you moving. Food 5, olive oil, nature's anti-inflammatory. Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt a sharp ache in your knees? Or tried to take a walk only to feel like your joints were rusted hinges? That creaky, stiff feeling you get in your legs and hips, it's not always wear and tear. In fact, more often than not, it's a hidden fire inside your body, inflammation. And if left unchecked, it can silently chip away at your strength, your balance, and even your independence. But what if I told you one of the most powerful ways to fight inflammation is already sitting in your kitchen? I'm talking about olive oil, specifically extra virgin olive oil. It's not just a cooking fat. It's what I like to call liquid gold for aging joints. Used for centuries in Mediterranean cultures, olive oil has long been linked to longevity, vitality, and low rates of chronic illness. But today, we're going to focus on why it's so essential for your legs, especially if you want to stay mobile and pain-free as you age. First, let's talk about what makes inflammation so dangerous for your legs. Chronic inflammation isn't like the swelling you get from an injury. It's subtle, low-grade, and often invisible. But inside your joints, muscles, and blood vessels, it quietly causes damage over time. It breaks down cartilage. It weakens muscles. And it slows the circulation that keeps your legs nourished and oxygenated. That's why so many older adults feel like their legs just don't bounce back the way they used to. This is where olive oil comes in. Extra virgin olive oil contains a natural compound called oleocanthal. It acts like nature's ibuprofen, blocking the same inflammatory pathways as over-the-counter painkillers, but without the side effects. In fact, researchers have found that consuming just 2 to 3 tablespoons a day of extra virgin olive oil can significantly reduce markers of inflammation in the body. I remember a woman named Donna, 70 years old, who came to see me about stiffness in her knees. She loved gardening but said, "It's gotten to where I can't kneel without regretting it for 2 days." We made one small change. She swapped out her vegetable oil for extra virgin olive oil, drizzling it on salads, roasting her veggies with it, even stirring it into her soups. Within a month, she told me, "I still have aches, but the stiffness? It's like the Tin Man finally got his oil." Beyond oleocanthal, olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, the heart-healthy kind that support blood flow, reduce arterial stiffness, and lower levels of LDL, bad cholesterol. Why does this matter for your legs? Because better circulation means better oxygen and nutrient delivery to your muscles, keeping them strong, responsive, and energized. And when your arteries stay flexible, your risk of leg cramps, heaviness, and poor recovery drops dramatically. But here's something most people miss. How you use olive oil matters. To get the full anti-inflammatory benefit, make sure you're choosing cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, stored in a dark glass bottle. Heat and light degrade its properties over time. Use it in salad dressings, drizzle it over steamed vegetables, or stir it into warm, not boiling soups and stews. You can sauté with it, but keep the temperature medium to preserve the antioxidants. I often recommend what I call the triple combo plate for aging legs: olive oil, leafy greens, and fatty fish. Why? Because olive oil boosts absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like K and D. Leafy greens support bone and muscle health. And fatty fish, which we'll talk about next, adds inflammation-fighting omega-3s to the mix. Together, they form a daily anti-inflammatory foundation that supports your legs from the inside out. And if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the idea of changing your diet, let this be a starting point. Swapping your cooking oil is one of the easiest, most high-impact changes you can make. You don't need to overhaul everything. You just need to upgrade the oil that's already touching your food every day. Let me ask you this. When's the last time you really thought about how your joints feel, not just in pain, but in movement? Because joint health isn't just about reducing discomfort. It's about preserving the joy of motion. Walking without wincing. Climbing stairs with confidence. Stretching without hesitation. That freedom is priceless, and olive oil is one of the most reliable tools I've seen for protecting it. So here's your gentle challenge for the week. Start using 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil daily. Just one. Drizzle it, dip into it, savor it. And if you notice your legs feeling a little looser, your steps a little easier, drop a comment below and write, "Oiled and moving." I'd love to hear how it's working for you. Because you deserve to move through life with ease, not tension. With grace, not grinding. And while olive oil alone won't solve everything, it can be a powerful ally in your daily routine, supporting your joints, your heart, and your strength in one simple, delicious way. And now that we've addressed the issue of inflammation, let's move into the final piece of the puzzle. A food that supports both bones and muscles, floods your body with omega-3s, and offers a surprising dose of calcium and vitamin D all in one. It's small, unassuming, and often overlooked, but it might just be your leg's new best friend. Coming up next, Food 6, Sardines, the tiny fish with giant benefits. Food 6, Sardines, tiny fish, big impact. If I told you that one of the most powerful foods for rebuilding leg strength, reducing joint pain, and supporting bone health was a tiny, oily fish in a can, you might not believe me. But hear me out, because sardines are, without question, one of the most underrated superfoods for anyone over 60. And if you've been struggling with aching knees, brittle bones, or sluggish circulation, this little fish might be exactly what your body's been waiting for. Sardines may not look impressive, but inside that silver skin lies a nutritional powerhouse that supports nearly every function your legs depend on. First, they're packed with calcium. Just one small can of sardines with bones provides about 40% of your daily requirement, which is essential for maintaining bone density and preventing fractures. But calcium alone isn't enough, which is why sardines also naturally contain vitamin D, the key nutrient that helps your body absorb calcium efficiently. This combination is rare in nature and incredibly valuable as we age, especially for people who aren't getting enough sun exposure or who are at risk for osteoporosis. I had a patient, Carl, who came to me after his doctor warned him about his weakening bones. He didn't like dairy and wasn't keen on supplements. When I suggested sardines twice a week, he hesitated, but agreed to try. We paired them with whole grain toast, fresh lemon, and leafy greens. Months later, not only did his bone scan improve, but he told me, "I walk like I'm 60 again, not 73. What made the difference wasn't magic. It was bioavailable nutrition his body could actually use. Sardines also happen to be rich in omega-3 fatty acids, healthy fats that help reduce inflammation in joints, improve circulation, and keep your arteries supple and strong. These fats have been shown to relieve stiffness, enhance flexibility, and even reduce the risk of heart disease, which is directly connected to the health of your legs. Good circulation means more oxygen reaching your muscles, less swelling in your feet and ankles, and a lower risk of leg fatigue after walking or standing. What's more, sardines are a great source of complete protein, delivering all the essential amino acids your muscles need to repair and grow. They're also high in iron, selenium, and phosphorus, 3 micronutrients that contribute to muscle function, red blood cell formation, and bone strength. Think of sardines as a natural multivitamin with the added benefit of being easy to absorb and quick to prepare. Now, I get it. Sardines are not everyone's favorite at first bite. But there are ways to ease in. Choose sardines packed in olive oil for extra anti-inflammatory benefits. Rinse them if you're watching your sodium intake. Mash them with avocado on toast, toss them into a salad, or mix them with Greek yogurt, herbs, and lemon for a surprisingly tasty spread. And if you're hesitant, try just half a can to start. I often recommend pairing sardines with vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes, citrus, or bell peppers, not only for flavor, but because it enhances iron absorption and complements the nutrient profile beautifully. And if you're still unsure, remember, it's not about loving every bite. It's about loving what it does for your body. When you consistently nourish your body with foods that build, protect, and restore, you start to feel the difference in ways you can't ignore. Your steps become steadier. Your pain becomes quieter. And your confidence starts to return. So here's your gentle nudge. Try sardines once this week. Give them a fair chance. And if you notice even the slightest improvement in how your legs feel, whether it's less swelling, more energy, or better balance, drop a comment and say, "Tiny fish, big results." Because sharing your story could be the inspiration someone else needs to begin their journey towards strength. With sardines, we complete the list of 6 remarkable foods that can transform your legs, from protein-rich powerhouses to anti-inflammatory oils and antioxidant-rich berries. Each one plays a unique role, but together, they form a complete nutritional foundation for anyone who wants to stay mobile, independent, and full of life as they age. But this video isn't just about what to eat. It's about what you choose to do next. Will you walk away with information, Or will you take the first small action towards stronger legs and a more active life? You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start one food, one meal, one decision at a time. Because strong legs don't just carry your body. They carry your freedom, your confidence, and the memories you'll continue creating. And that, to me, is the most important reason to take that first bite. If you found value in this series, I'd love for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone you care about. Let's keep spreading the message that aging doesn't mean fading. It means fueling, moving, and thriving. They say your legs carry you through life, and after over a decade working with older adults, I can tell you that this couldn't be more true. Your legs don't just support your body. They support your freedom, your sense of independence, your ability to walk into a room with confidence or step outside and feel the sun on your face. But as we grow older, those same legs begin to whisper for help. Sometimes it's in the form of fatigue, sometimes in stiffness, or maybe that quiet fear that one wrong step could lead to something worse. That's why this video wasn't just about food. It was about reclaiming your strength, one bite at a time. Over the past few minutes, we've explored 6 of the most powerful foods nature has to offer. Lean protein to rebuild muscle fibers, leafy greens to support your bones and circulation, sweet potatoes for steady, lasting energy, berries to fight inflammation and oxidative stress, olive oil to soothe your joints and protect your arteries, and sardines, the small but mighty fish that delivers calcium, vitamin D, omega-3s, and protein in one humble package. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're simple, affordable, accessible staples that you can add to your plate today. And the impact they can have on your legs, your energy, and your sense of mobility is real. I've watched people in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s, take back their health just by starting with small, intentional changes. Because when your legs feel stronger, you feel more capable. When your knees don't ache and your calves don't cramp, you're more likely to walk, move, and engage with the world around you. And that's not just good for your muscles. It's good for your heart, your brain, and your entire outlook on life. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what will you start with? Will it be eggs in the morning to support your muscles? A handful of berries to brighten your circulation? A drizzle of olive oil over steamed greens to ease joint pain? You don't have to change everything overnight. In fact, I hope you don't. Because real, lasting transformation comes from small steps, done consistently. That's how you rebuild strong legs. Not in a flash, but in quiet, daily moments where you choose what supports you instead of what slows you down. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to thank you. You've invested your time and attention into something that matters deeply, your well-being. That shows commitment, and I want to celebrate that. So if you found value here, I invite you to do 3 small things. First, click the like button, not just because it helps the channel, but because it tells YouTube this is content worth sharing with others who need it. Second, subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss future videos designed to help you feel stronger, steadier, and more vibrant in your everyday life. And third, leave a comment below. Let me know which of the 6 foods you're excited to start with, or if you've already added one into your routine and felt a difference. I'd love to hear your story. Write something like, "I'm starting with berries," or "Sardines changed my joints," because your experience might be the spark that inspires someone else to take that first step. And if you're not sure where to begin, that's okay too. Just write, "I'm ready," because readiness is the first step to action. The truth is, aging isn't the end of strength. It's the beginning of a wiser, more intentional kind of power. One that comes from listening to your body, nourishing it well, and believing that no matter your age, it's never too late to feel stronger, walk taller, and move with purpose. So here's to stronger legs, better balance, longer walks, and the confidence to keep moving forward. Your next chapter isn't about limitation, it's about liberation. And I'll be right here, cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, take care of your legs, take care of your body, and take care of you.